You seem like a real beer lover.
Oh yeah, no, it's this is.
When did you get into craft beers and remember your first drink?
Well, I've never really been able to track it down, but when I was a kid, my mother's side of the family's Irish in Boston, and
It sounds like trouble.
and the family rumor, which I've never ever been able to really track down, was that her grandparents owned a brewery before Prohibition called Boylston Beer, and she had and when I cleaned up my great uncle's cellar, who raised my mother, I found some Boylston beer bottles, and I put them in my mother's cellar, and then subsequently when she
Empty
moved,
or full?
they were full.
Open.
They were still full. Of course,
Really?
who knows what they would have tasted like
Cool.
that, but they were from
Yeah.
like the 20s or something, and or well, before that, it would have been the teens, I guess, whenever before Prohibition, but. I was saving them, and then of course my mother moved, and I said, "What?" She said, "Oh, those old beer bottles." It's like, I'm like, I can't believe you threw them out. So anyway, I've done a little research, not enough, and have never tracked down history of the Boylston Brewery and whether or not it was related to the Irish side of my family. But anyway, that was, and then I don't know, just early on, back when I was young, there was not really any. There were still some decent, sort of a few hangers on of, some of the smaller American breweries. I can't remember. There's one out of Detroit. It was an okay beer, and and then there was like Yingling and a few others were still around. But I really, I started buying foreign beer to try and get more taste and that, and would be talking with friends, because there was always a rumor that in Jamaica Plain there was an old abandoned brewery that someone had just like walked away from, and it was there, and I said, God, wouldn't it be great if we could start a brewery, and make good beer, and of course never did anything with it, but then, the craft brew movement started up. I think the first one was
San Francisco.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, well, I was drinking. There was the rescue of Anchor Steam, and then we had, some of the others that come in that area. And I lived in the Bay Area for a little while, and then in Oregon, there was one that started in Portland, it failed, and then some others started up, and they stocked Widmer Brothers and others, and I just was like, wow, this is great. I love this kind of beer.
Yeah.
I was home brewing a fair amount at that point, and still did for a while, but now I'm really too busy, and there's so much good beer out there. It's like, I don't have time to brew, so mostly I just drink.
Cheers to that.